In this NFT drop preview, I sit down with world-class outdoor and adventure photographer Jeremy Koreski to talk about his upcoming collection on GRAAPH. Now, if you're not already familiar with Jeremy, chances are you've seen his work in a few places. His work has been featured on the cover of Surfer magazine and has had placements in Condé Nast, Surfer's Journal, Outside Magazine, National Geographic, just to name a few. With that, let the show begin. Jeremy, welcome back to the show. This is exciting times. We're going to be talking about your debut drop on GRAAPH, not your debut in the NFT space. You're already active there, but your debut on GRAAPH. So before we get into that, actually, how you been doing?
I've been good. Taking a bit of summertime for myself. The weather's been great. And just been chilling at home, splitting firewood and painting and just, working in the yard. It's been fun.
Splitting firewood, painting, working the yard. Man, doesn't sound like you're out shooting much.
No, I haven't been shooting in a little while. A couple of projects I want to get back on and some trips coming up. But just trying to I spent the first 6 months, first half of the year traveling a lot. So now I'm just trying to chill and take it easy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time because I know how much you travel, and just pinning you down for an interview like this is a monumental task. So thank you again. And I'm going to tell you thank you at the end of this as well.
Of course.
So you have this crazy drop that you dreamt up not too long ago. We thought, let's bring this to life. Let's take a big bite of this thing and make this real. And the world out there, the world outside of GRAAPH, the world outside of, our bubbles, knows you as Jeremy, the outdoor photographer, the action photographer, the sports photographer, all these things, right? Like there's a large number of people that know your traditional body of work. This is a little bit of a departure that is taking a mixed media approach. You have a fantastic story behind it, fantastic cause as well. So I'd like to open it up to you to tell us, or really reveal what the drop is going to be, what the piece is going to be.
Yeah, so I've been around salmon and salmon fishing and the salmon culture my whole life. When I was a kid, my dad was a commercial salmon fisherman. And so I've always been around the water and been around that culture, like I said, ever since I was a little boy. And it's just always something I think about, something I enjoy to do, go fishing for salmon, something I enjoy to eat. And photograph. I mean, I'm in the salmon world a lot, and as the climate changes and as there are more people on the earth, salmon are having a harder and harder time of reproducing and just being around, the wild salmon especially. So this idea has been in my head for a long time, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work. And it's something very different from the normal, but what I did was took a photograph of a salmon, a beautiful Chinook salmon on a white backdrop. And then I went out salmon fishing and got my hands bloody, literally. And I took some blood and I splattered the blood all over the print of this beautiful Chinook salmon. And for me, I want to leave the interpretation up to the viewer. I mean, everyone I've shown this to so far has had a very different reaction, and I love it. I love the fact that some people are taken by it and really think it's beautiful, and then other people are disgusted by it. I don't want, I want to mix it up, and I want it to be a conversation starter, and I want people to have some kind of reaction to it that might not always be a positive one. So I'm really looking forward to dropping this and just seeing what kind of greater reaction we receive.
Yeah, I've seen the prints, or at least the preview, and I've seen the behind the scenes shots of you going out there off the coast of BC, actually creating the pieces. I think it's really interesting, the approach you're taking. And I think there's a valid, I don't want to say argument, but discussion point behind everything you're doing. And I believe you've kind of provided us with some foreshadowing around the name of the drop, which is...
Lifeblood.
Lifeblood. Yeah. It's a suitable title.
Salmon really are the lifeblood of the coast in so many ways. And so many people's livelihoods and lives are affected by salmon. So it's just a great opportunity to start discussions with a lot of people that might not know all the intricacies to this issue. I mean, it's from the forestry industry to damming rivers and hydro projects to overfishing. I mean, everyone on the coast, or most people on the coast, are involved in some way or another. And at the same time, not everyone on the coast knows all of the information that's out there. So I definitely don't know all the information, and that's why I like discussing these things with other people to gain other perspectives on things. And so for me, in my mind, it was a way to maybe shock people into a conversation that they didn't want to have, or they didn't want to see a certain perspective. Maybe we can talk about it and change their minds. But the blood, I mean, I've had blood on my hands a lot. When you go fishing, it's a part of killing something and harvesting something to eat it. Is when you kill it, there's blood. So for me, it's not as maybe sick as some people might see it. To me, it's respecting the fish and I'm interested to see and start conversations with other people to maybe change my perspective on things as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And I really look forward to just hearing back from the community around the topic. And I think, especially on the West Coast of North America here, right? Like salmon is pretty central to a lot of industries. It's central to our diet. It's a critical species for, myriad of reasons. But we're so far away from the process. I don't think many people are familiar with it or appreciate it. So
right.
The naming,
I agree.
Yeah, the naming works. And I think for those that are further abroad from the coast, you may draw comparisons between Jeremy's work and the salmon, really, and the wolves of Yellowstone, right? I think a lot of our audience or should be aware of the story there and how introducing wolves back into Yellowstone changed the environment there.
Oh yeah, it goes on and on. And as humans, we're always trying to find the solutions to a lot of time the problems that we create. So it's one of those things where hopefully people from all different walks of life can come together that care about salmon and start working together on these things. But it's not that easy. If it was, there would be lots of salmon and there wouldn't be issues that are facing salmon. So it's one of those things I think it's just good to talk about, get out in the open. And if I can start a conversation, spark a conversation with this piece, I will have done my job.
Yeah. And, on that note, I know you work with 1% for the Planet or 1% Back for the Planet. I always get the name wrong. With this particular drop, you're going to be donating a certain percentage back to a stream restoration project that you're familiar with.
Yeah, I want to donate 25% of the proceeds, from the profit of the drop back towards redfish. And redfish is an organization based in Ucluelet and Tofino, and they go in and they actually restore salmon streams that have been affected by the forestry industry. And so they're proactively trying to make things better for those salmon and steelhead that come back to the rivers.
Redfish. Okay, I'll make sure we drop the URL to Redfish in the show notes so everyone can access it and really find out what this organization is about definitely. And get a better feel for this broader NFT project that we're building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Now on to the actual editions. Is this going to be like a super mega blowout, 10,000 NFTs, 1 million print sort of project, or what are we talking about here, Jeremy?
No, this is a departure from what I have been doing more recently, which is just keeping all the editions open. This is one that in digital photography, you don't sort of have that original piece. And so that's something new for me with the NFT side of things, where I can actually put a stamp on a digital file and create a 1 of 1 or a 2 of 1, whatever it is. But I've also, on the other side, taken these actual photographs. I took a number of photographs out and paper prints onto the boat. We caught a fish. And when we bled the fish, we used that blood to create this art. And so there are going to be a very limited edition of these. We didn't have a lot of room on the boat. And so we'll be, I think we're going to be raffling off a certain amount, 50% of the NFT, successful NFT purchasers will also receive one of these exclusive paper tangible prints to take home.
Yeah, these are really cool. So just to reiterate, it's a super limited run of these NFTs, or super limited edition. We want to obviously keep this exclusive for the collectors and people that are within Jeremy's broader community and just getting into the NFT space. Maybe they're more familiar with his photography work, traditional photography work. And then we're going to be raffling off by draw the print editions. So it's a really cool project that gives back to nature through stream restoration projects. You get a fantastic piece from Jeremy that's both the digital photo in the form of NFT, plus, like I said earlier, a 50-50 chance at winning one of the limited edition prints of that NFT. So it's a cool piece. It's mixed media. It's traditional photography. It's digital photography. It's prints that you can hang on your wall that are absolutely gorgeous. What else is there to say, Jeremy? I feel like I'm missing a whole bunch.
No, I mean, I feel like we're going to have lots to talk about after the drop, and when we see the reaction to this. But yeah, it's for a lot of different reasons. It's new to me. The mixed media part of it, as well as the NFT world, is something I'm very new to. So I'm looking forward to kind of diving into that space and kind of what's the right way to put it? Including the work in both spaces, both the tangible world and the digital world, and having a space for an NFT on the wall or having a traditional paper print that's in a frame behind glass on the wall. So that part interests me. And also just having the conversation about where NFTs are going and what where I think I want to be in that world. Yeah, well, the future is bright. Like we said in previous episodes, we're super early in this thing. It's cliche to say that, but we really are. This is like 1994 on the internet. And what you're doing here is you're really giving people that traditional piece. You're giving them the digital asset that they can have in their crypto wallet, MetaMask, what you will. And then they can have that beautiful piece of art that hangs on their wall, the statement piece. So it's really, Yeah. And I'm looking forward to the conversation in the gallery as well for both on the traditional side as well as the NFT side. And as more and more people get into this space, I guess the understanding will be kind of better across the board. But just looking forward to having more conversation in this space, in the gallery, in the tangible, the NFT side, but in the gallery in a tangible space would be interesting to me in real life. Yeah. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say most of our listeners aren't going to know you have a gallery and they won't know where your gallery is. So if you don't know, Jeremy's gallery is located in the beautiful town of Tofino, British Columbia. And it's right at the end of the Trans-Canada Highway. It's about as far west as you can go in this great country. And that's where you'll find his gallery. Yeah, check it out. If you're ever in Tofino, it's my hometown. And I don't get to spend as much time in the gallery as I'd like. But I really enjoy being in there and talking to people. And so many stories to tell about the work. And Tofino's a beautiful place. If you haven't made it out there, definitely check it out. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Jeremy. I look forward to the drop. I know our collectors and audience does as well. And I know your legions of fans will find out about this shortly, probably through this podcast or Instagram or something else. But I really look forward to launching with you. I look forward to the discourse with our audiences and collectors and seeing where this goes. Thanks, Joel. Looking very forward to working with GRAAPH. This is going to be fun. You bet, Jer. Thanks so much. See you later. Thank you. Talk soon.